What do we mean anxiety and depression? Right. There's two things. It's either emotional symptoms or physical symptoms. Right? I'm looking at my phone, I'm just looking at notes. I'm not checking my Facebook. So we've got emotional symptoms, right? Excessive worrying, constantly worrying, a sense of guilt, a feeling of sadness. Then we've got our physical symptoms, loss of energy, difficulty in concentrating, right? Lack of sleep. These are just examples of some symptoms of anxiety and depression. Now, us as men, the majority of this room is black men. Right? We have unique issues to us that affects these two symptoms. We've got immigration issues, Mapeva. They bring so many problems. Fear, worry, anxiety. You know, me myself, I did the spouse visa with my wife. If I tell you, if it wasn't for God, He got us through it. I could not sleep, I could not eat. At one point, they were even saying, you know, I think your wife might have to go back to Zimbabwe. You know, it was difficult at that time. On that same topic of immigration, you know, we come from back home, we come here, maybe you have a degree, you come here, that degree means nothing now. Maybe you're a breadwinner, all of a sudden you're not a breadwinner now. Right? We've got other issues that affect us, like relationships. You know, in our culture, marriage is a sacred thing. You know, we were taught as couples, marriage means a lot to us. But unfortunately, sometimes there's issues in our marriages, and in worst cases, it can even lead to divorce. Yeah, it happens. You know, we've got issues of finance, dealing with our finances, debt, equality, parenting. It's difficult. You know, parenting in UK is not the same as parenting in Zimbabwe. It's a different ballgame. You know, integrating into a new system. And then sometimes life can throw a curveball. Life-changing illnesses, injuries. All of a sudden you can't provide. You have no insurances, what? These are the things that go back to the two symptoms we're talking about, anxiety and depression. So where am I going with this? We're going to have a look at some statistics. Because unique to us as black men, we are less likely to seek help when it comes to these two things. We are less likely to talk about these issues. Right? In a survey in 2021, 56% of black men reported feeling ashamed to discuss their mental health due to cultural stigma. Research suggests that black men are more likely to experience depression and anxiety in silence often due to societal expectations around masculinity and resilience. Right? These are just examples of some statistics. But I want us to talk about this stigma, because I feel like as men, and even as a church, maybe we have a role to play in this, what they call stigma. Right? So, when I was given this topic, I was researching, I was even talking to people I know. I spoke to a friend of mine. He's not a frequent church goer, and I said to him, look, how come you don't go to churches? How come you're not active? Why? He told me, you know, in these organizations, there's a lot of stigma. He told me sometimes there's a lot of hypocrisy and a lot of judgment. He even went to say that in some places, some churches, he felt like people find solace in other people's suffering. I don't know. That's his words, right? And for me, as a deacon, as a leader in my church, I feel like, why? Why should it be like this? You know? For the social workers in the room, am I wrong in saying that sometimes the safest places are usually the most vulnerable places? Right? Laganzi, fight care abuse cannot narrow. They don't even go far. Mumbai Momo. That's where they start. Right? Let us say a scenario. Right? This is just a hypothetical scenario. Elder Mwandi here is a respectable member in our church. He pays his tithes. He's got his IT businesses, you know. Then, at some point, he starts not coming to church as frequent. You don't see him as much. Right? Maybe he reaches out to someone. Mr. Mtara. He reaches out to Mr. Mtara. One day he comes to church. When I see Mr. Mwandi, man of God, why are you not coming to church? What's going on? You're a respectable member of church. I'm adding to that stigma. Right? When I see Mr. Mwandi, I should just say, Mr. Mwandi, it's good to see you, brother. Should you need anything, I'm here. I don't even need to know how to solve his problem. I don't even need to know what to say to him. I just need to create a platform and show him that I'm here. That's up to God. God will solve his problems. But I'm here, right? We're tackling this stigma. Another scenario. Let's say Zulu. Zulu, when he's at his best, he's sharp. He's at his best. Then all of a sudden, maybe I might see him. Zulu is now, he's changing his hairstyle. Maybe now wants dreadlocks. You know what? It's not up to me to judge. It's not up to me to judge. But if I know Zulu, I should know, but I think there's something going on. Right? There's something going on. I'm not going to go to Mr. Negomash and say, what's going on? No, I'm heading to that stigma. I'm going to go directly to Zulu. I say, Zulu, you know, from what I've seen from you, normally when you're at your best, you know, I'm going to Zulu, you're looking sharp. Is there something that's going on? I'm here if you We are tackling this stigma. Right? And we're not adding onto this stigma as men of integrity. You know, I was at my barber getting a haircut, and sometimes I'm observative. I just realized someone was talking, and they were actually talking about their life with their barber. And I was thinking, how come? Is it a safe space? Some people feel safer at a barber to talk than they do at church. But there's something unique going there. They created a safe platform. It's a place where you don't get judged. You are not judged. You don't go there for 2, 3 weeks, 3 months. Your barber, whenever he sees you, welcome. There's no stigma. People feel free to talk. Remember, gentlemen, to tackle these two things, depression, anxiety, we need to go against this stigma. Right? Because you'd wonder with in a church where you've got 20 elders, 15 deacons, how come I can only talk to 1 or 2? Why? Why is it I can only confide in one? We are leaders. People are supposed to confide in us. Right? You'd wonder, it's been 5, 6 months or so. How many new church members have come in and stayed? It raises up these questions. Is it to do with this stigma that my friend was talking about? Sometimes there are issues. There's a lot of stigma in these environments, Our pastor taught us not so long ago that our church is the house of the Lord. We do our part in these churches. If you know Matthew 6, seek first the kingdom of the Lord. It also goes on to say in Matthew 11, come to me, all who are weary, heavy burdened, and I'll give you rest. So our church is supposed to be a place of rest, recovery, trust. I'm bringing up these situations because it can lead to worst case scenarios. It can lead to suicidal ideation. Right? People end up killing themselves. People end up killing their spouses. These are just worst case scenarios with these two things, anxiety and depression. And as we know, the devil seeks to steal, kill, and destroy. And he goes for the head first in sorrow, us men. I've got some case studies, gentlemen, I just want to share. In March 22, there was a 32-year-old Zimbabwean found dead in London, suspected suicide. He had recently joined his wife 3 months earlier, struggled to settle in the UK. Why? As men, they say we're not able to talk. That's our issue. In January 2025, this year, a young man in Gloucestershire stabbed his girlfriend after an argument. I think our timing. These are just worst case scenarios. Why I want to bring emphasis to why depression and anxiety is something we need to tackle and something that we can play a part in as men, as leaders. So I want to wrap up because I think our timing is going. So I want to challenge each and every one of you men to notice the small details in your fellow brother. Notice the small changes. Because if I tell you, a phone call sometimes doesn't always help. You call someone, I checked on him, he's not answering my phone. I messaged him, he's not replying. That's because they don't feel like there's a safe space. We have not established that safe space. They still feel like if I share with you, if I'm vulnerable with you, you're just going to judge me. Right? So notice the small details. You know, when I normally see you, you're like this, but today, is there something going on? People feel like they're being held. You know, me, I'm suicide first aid trained. They say there's only two things you need to worry about: being present and that safety of that person. Being present, listening. Is something changed? Is there something going on? What can we do? You know? If you are blessed, a multi-million-pound business, just be mindful. You know, the place that we're going into, there are people that are still at different stages in their life. Celebrate in a way that encourages others, not put others down. We're all at different levels, right? Let's be proactive. Let us be proactive, men. Not all problems just needs, that's all in a pastor. Maybe we can do something. Maybe as men, 15 of us can come pray for you. You know, for you that have companies here, you know that problems have different levels that are escalated to. They don't just go straight into the director. They'll ask you, what did the senior staff do about it? What did this person do about it? Right? Let us do things that we enjoy doing as men. I want to encourage us to tackle this anxiety, depression. Do something you enjoy. We have our families, we have our wives, but what do you do? What do you enjoy doing? Right? And I'm not just, I would encourage you to do something that's also beneficial maybe to your health. If you like football, go to the garden, play with the children. Maybe set up a 5-a-side, 5-a-side. At the same time, your health, you're building your health. Right? Personally, I enjoy going to the gym. I listen to my gospel, I listen to teachings while I'm on the treadmill. I solve problems when I'm there. Find something that you enjoy. Gentlemen, I know this is a delicate subject, you know, anxiety and depression. When we were growing up, we were taught with resilience, kind of pushing up. You go throughout your life, right? I just want to give an example. Our cars, why do they withstand long journeys? We inflate the tires, right? We change tires. We service them. We stop at the fuel station when you're going for a long journey. That's why they're resilient. As a man, our speaker is giving me signals here.
It's such a pleasure to see us men gathering together at such a short notice, but very significant. I wish we could keep this momentum regardless of challenges which we face, because together as one, we have a better prospect what we need in our daily lives. In short, I have been requested by my colleagues to tackle the issue of prostate enlargement. We don't want to call it cancer because it's not always cancer. We want to call it, I wanted to call it in a different way to talk about prostate. What is a prostate? A prostate is an organ which is found in men. Men only have prostate. It is just below the bladder. We have the bladder at the top, just below the bladder. There is a small peanut-like size organ which is called a prostate. What does it do? Its main major purpose is to make our sperms viable. It secretes, it secretes a lubricant which increases the ability of the sperm to flow, to move quickly and quicker. And at the same time, we've also realized that, for example, when we have sex, why don't you wee? This part of the organ as well does regulate. It only comes into the sexual activities other than the wee part of it. So this organ grows with time. It grows with age. And its purpose, it can have two things. Hypertrophy, just growing thicker and harder, and it can also become cancerous. But cancers, I don't want to talk about cancers. I would rather talk about what problems it causes to us when it grows bigger and thicker. Because it's just below the urethra, the bladder. It is at that beginning of the point of the urethra. Urethra is that section where we wee, where it comes out. So if it becomes bigger, it now exerts pressure on the urethra such that you have challenges in weeing. What are the symptoms in you suspecting that you might have a prostate issue? One, you may go to the toilet so many times because this is stricture which is being formed there by the blood, by this prostate. It's causing the wee to not flow in easily out. It comes out in small amount. So when you go to the toilet, you empty a little bit, and when you empty, you put an effort. You are not just like weighing like that. You have to put an effort so that the bladder empties, and because it cannot let you wee continuously, you have to come back again, back, forth. Secondly, you can notice issues like blood in the urine as you wee. Urine mixed with blood is not a good sign for men. Monitor that urine, see how frequently it comes and what the consistency of that. Some also you have, at times we don't see our semen. You can also see blood in the semen as a sign that there is something wrong with the prostate. You also complain backache, and when you backache is one more, and the other one is that when you wee, you know, when you were young, when you wee, the wee goes whee that far. But at this time, even when the toilet seat is there, you really go in between and start to, so that it dribbles when it comes out. It's not as that strong as you would have. And your sexual, at intimacy, your sexual desires and performance are also affected so significantly. So let's say this prostate is still growing. What does it do? It builds, because the urine is not coming frequently as it's supposed to do. If you leave urine for a specific period of time, it segments. Urine is composed of salts and all this kind of stuff. And then it segments. When it segments, it starts to form stones in the bladder itself. So now we have two challenges. You can't wee, and when you can't wee with these stones forming, as you wee, the stones, they move to the bottom and then they block the urethra. Challenges come. Thirdly, because the blood is not emptying properly, there is feedback to the kidneys, which you call hydronephrosis. The ureters, which are connected to the kidneys, they start to fill up. Urine goes back, and when it goes back, we have more problems. The kidneys are no longer able to sift the urine to come out, so you have a more of retention with further complications leading to kidney challenges, kidney issues. So in brief, it's a very long topic, but I would try to brief it in summary. What can we do as men to make sure that this issue is addressed? One, you have to meet up with your GP. Your GP will ask to take you some blood. This blood is called prostate-specific antigen, PSA. They take this one. It's not conclusive that you've got a minimum of 2.5 to 5 range in which these levels are. Then you do that. Secondly, they can now put a glove, which can be done at home with me and my wife. Put a glove and make me bend like this, and put your finger in and palpate downwards to feel any bumps. When your wife or the GP says, I can feel some bumps, that's a signal that there's something wrong, because the bladder is next to the rectum. So that if for example, if you want to wee, if you delay weeing, you may end up wee and poo at the same time. Do you agree? Yeah, at times it happens. If you delay weeing, you end up pooing because the bladder is being pushing on the rectum and make you do this. So thirdly, after that, you can also have a scan which can determine the size and everything to make sure that this is all done. How do we manage it? Quickly, management is in two phases: surgery and medical. Surgery, you have to have the prostate removed surgically or microwave it with the new technology which is coming in. You can have it done. It's a safe procedure which can be done you going home. And medically, you can have fenestride and all this kind of stuff which you can get. But the ultimate solution to the whole thing is surgical intervention. That solves it all. You have a catheter after surgery for a while, and then the catheter is removed. Of course, there are challenges as well when you have this surgery done. Issues of incontinence, urine, and dribbling is common with this kind of procedure. Even without the procedure, you can do that. Second one is impotence, failure to ejaculate, failure for our brother to stand and do the business. These are the issues which do come by. But surveillance is the most important thing. Black people, including myself, I can say this, but I haven't done any of this stuff, but we encourage to visit our healthcare systems and make sure that our systems are checked and make sure we are done. Women are very good. In the medical field, they say if you want to make business, if you want to make money, do anything with women, you get a lot of money. But with men, you won't get. Go with Pampers outside there with pads. Women will buy them because they need them. But for us men, we are really challenged. I encourage us, gentlemen, please, this stigma which was being talked about, let's look at our health care system. So it's a very broad topic, but I try to crash it down to bare minimum. So because of our time.
I remember the International Women of Health conference that happened in Harare. I happened to attend that conference, and medical staff from the hospital were there, and they were screening every man. So I got screened there as well, and it was quite a good exercise. So thank you so much, Marshall, for encouraging us to go and do it. Let's do it. Let's not be afraid. When I came back here, I went to my GP and he examined me. It's very uncomfortable. He puts his finger down there and, but it's worth doing it because it is our health. Thank you so much. I've been tasked to talk about businesses, and I think you need to smile at me because I'm going to call a spade a spade. I'm going to call a spade because I'm talking to men of integrity. I thought I was going to have a PowerPoint screen so that we can follow each other, but then I will just go through this one. I've entitled my sharing as the mindset of a winner. The mindset of a winner. So I decided to sort of come up with the definition of a mindset. And I said a mindset is a set of attitudes that somebody has towards something. A belief that somebody has that guides him or that guides her. That's a mindset. So a mindset is something that makes you reach your goal because your mind is determined to achieve what you are supposed to achieve. So I went into the Bible and took a scripture. Luke chapter 19 verse 10. It says, "For the Son of Man came to seek and save that which is lost." So I am looking at Jesus Christ. His mindset was set on seeking and saving that which was lost. If you look at the life of Jesus Christ, throughout until he went to the cross, he never lost his goal. People try to say you are a sinner, you are a son of a carpenter, you are do this. He was not moved by that. He knew that what I want to achieve is to seek and save that which was lost. And he did it. So I'm saying to the many here, the mindset of a winner. Look at athletes. Look at tennis players. Look at great church leaders. How they focus on goals. Look at great football players. How they focus on winning. In their mind, they are focusing, celebrating a win before they even kick the ball. Before Serena Williams and their sister, what's her name, Venus, they play, they are focusing to celebrate a win. The mindset of a winner. But then before I go on to that, I'll just quickly talk about myself. I was born in a family of 12, 7 boys and 5 girls. And I was born in rural Zimbabwe. At our homestead with the 3 round huts. Okay? 7 boys, 5 girls. Mom and dad. Okay? 3 round huts. That's where I'm coming from. Already you see that scenario is not okay. One of the houses is a kitchen, the other one is mom and dad's bedroom, and the rest, the girls and the boys. How did we manage? This is where I am coming from. Because I know someone is going to say, oh, my background, I can't do this. It's not about your background. It's about the mindset. What is it that you want to achieve? So the 3 Herondals, not the best of students in education. I went to school in Ruwa, Zimbabwe, walking about 8 kilometers to school and back. No university degree. Of course, I want to get one of those universities. Only I've got a nursing diploma and a few business certificates. Okay. I started business in Zimbabwe in 1998, long back, through Home Talents in our church. That's how I started, and I had a small tuck shop. Those who come from Africa, small shop where you sell some groceries. That's where I'm coming from. And I moved to UK in 2002, September 2002. I moved to UK together with my wife. We came here. The next year, September 2003, we had saved enough to deposit a house in a year's time. So we managed, if you count now, it's about 23 years after I came into this nation. So if you are one of those people who've got a mortgage, look at myself. I finished it. I'm not bragging, but I'm just looking at the mindset of a winner. When you want to win in life, you have to dedicate yourself. July 2006, we resigned from the NHS. But remember, when we came over to this nation, we came as refugees. Those days you just buy a ticket and you go to the plane, you come to Heathrow Airport, to Gatwick Airport, you claim asylum. That's what we did as asylum seekers. And we knew that we had a background of nursing. After some time, we did the adaptation course and we went into nursing field. So don't tell me that I'm a COA, SOA, me, I can't. No. You can do things in your life, great things. So in 2006, we resigned from the NHS. That was after about 4 years. We resigned. And we started our own company, Victory Care Limited. And after that, about in 2008, we started, in 2011, we built another company, Victory Training Academy, which is, both companies are functional now, and they are doing fairly good, but we know they can do better than what they are doing now. And now, having said that, I think you are also trying to think about yourself, where you are, and what you are doing, and what you want to achieve. I just gave this background so that I can, you can see that I am one of you. I come from the same background. I have challenges like anyone else. So now, a man of integrity, men must lead. Men must lead. If you agree with me, say So, where is your mother right now and your father? Just think. I want you to rewind. Some of you can say, oh, my mom died, my father died, but there's someone whom we call your father. There's someone whom we call your dad. Where is your mother right now? Where is your dad? Where are they staying? In what type of a house are they staying right now? As a man. Just think about that. I know. You know the 3 hearts that I'm talking about. If the PowerPoint was there, I was going to show you. If you go at that place right now, it's completely changed. It's like you are in town. Electricity, water, everything, flashing toilets in that rural area. So I'm saying to someone, where is your mom right now? Because if I jump into business and you are not able to look after your mom, after your dad, he is staying in a place where you don't want to go and sleep. He is putting on clothes that you don't even want to put on. Where are they? Why am I talking about your mom and your dad? A pastor, an overseer, an archbishop can bless you, but the biggest blessing that you can get is from your parents. Amen. Let's call a spade as a man. We can put on suits, here in England, put on suits and like things are okay. You need to find out as a man, where are you coming from? If you go to Chiweshe, where the home area of my wife, to Chiweshe, you go there, you know, it was not like that. But I stood as a husband, as a man, and transformed that place. If you go there now, you say, I want to stay here. You know, my mother-in-law doesn't want to go to Harare to stay in the house that the husband left. She's comfortable in the wrong areas. Why? Because of a man of integrity. So I'm saying this to you, that a man of integrity does not just jump into business and say, look at where you are coming from. Family, my things are not moving well. Where are you coming from? Where are your parents? How are they? When did you last speak to them? There are some men that say, you know, me, I don't speak to my parents. I hate my parents. No, we don't. Brother, you are lost. You have to connect with your parents. I'll quickly move because of my time. So, have you paid? We all come from Africa, isn't it? We are married, except Fungai. If you paid the bride price, if you paid, completely paid, and you say, I am a man, I have married, I've paid everything, and my in-laws are happy with me. A spade is a spade, not a big spoon. Have we? That question can only be answered by you. There are some things that a man need to forget about. And you are staying there with that wife, and you haven't finished paying the dollar of the bride price. You haven't finished. You are comfortable and say, I am the father here. I am the father here. So, we need to sort out that area. Men of integrity. Let's do it. Let's sort it out so that we know as we move, we know we have done the little things. No, some of us, we don't talk of those things. We've already, finished. I will just go ahead. So how do winners think? I've talked about footballers, I've talked about tennis players. Those people, they are focused on what they want to achieve. They have photographs of success on the walls of their mind. They are always in their mind photographs of success, mindset of a winner. They are determined. They are not stopped by anything. They want to achieve what they want to achieve, and it takes everything for them to do it. They will picture overcoming every obstacle, and they are determined to do it. For the Son of Man came to seek and save that which is lost. Jesus was not moved by anything. They started beating him. He was not moved by that. They spat at him. He was not moved by that. He knew that I am going to seek and find that which is lost. And that desire took him to the cross. What about a man of integrity? The mindset of a winner. You cannot come from Africa and be here and be a loser. That can't happen. I want to believe that the reason why you and me, we are here today, is that we cannot work for someone else the rest of our lives. I can't work for someone else the rest of my life. As a man, I have to build my own business and employ people. Here in Mega region, Northampton region, we have said we will not leave a wounded soldier down. We will carry you and we move together. Where is Elder again? When you came from London, you thought we were joking. If you was here, he was going to tell you. We take each other, we pull each other as a team and say, business. Ask the Elder Billy, he knows. As a team, there are two Billies, isn't it? Both of them. So we help each other to move as a team and achieve goals together. The beauty about our team here is that there are no jealous people. There are no, this place is very good. If you want to excel, you can excel. Every one of us in business, we are ready to help. we are ready to help a brother so that they can do whatever they want to achieve. There is a great man of God called Ezekiel Guti. He wrote in this book, I press towards the goal of the prize of the upward calling. I wrote it there, I'll read from there. On page 8, he says, knowing your goal gives meaning to your life. It takes away anxiety, fear. It takes away doubt, and it takes away all the fear. You see yourself growing inside of you. No more trying this and that. No more borrowing money, trying to do this, saying I will repay it back, but you find yourself in trouble and you lose joy. And on page 9 he says, knowing your goal motivates your life. Goals always produce energy and passion. Look at the people in the world who know their goal. And at the bottom there he talks about the Serena Williams tennis players, the American girls. So I am saying to us, when you have got a goal, it will give you courage to pursue it. Your mind is set to achieve that goal. Now, I've just mixed everything because we are all at different levels, so I've touched every area. The next slide, I was saying, there are only two ways of doing business, okay? Only two ways of doing business. Number one, it's either you supply goods or you provide a service. Only two ways. No matter, don't worry about what people are doing. Those are the only way. Two ways how people are doing business, okay? They are either supplying goods or they are providing a service. And in business, we do not see money with our eyes. In business, we see money with a product. The product that I have, that's how we see money. We don't just say, oh, money, but I create a product that I will be able to sell to other people, or a service that I will be able to offer. That's how we see money in business. Through a product, through a service that we are going to supply. And I said here, opportunity is another word for problems. Is it? Yeah, opportunity is another word for problem. When you have got problems, it's an opportunity to make money. Well, the problem is another word for when you see a problem, it's an opportunity for you and me to make money. Let's take an example of a guy in the Bible. To Israel, Goliath was a problem. But to David, Goliath was an opportunity. Because David knew that if he defeats Goliath, he was not going to pay tax. Okay? He was going to marry the daughter of a king. For him, it was an opportunity. But to Israel, it was a big problem. So sometimes in life, when we see problems, we try and run away from problems. Let us try and focus and see how best can I solve this problem. So we don't wish for less problems, but we wish for better skills to solve that problem. I'll move quickly because of time. So I said here, there is nothing wrong about being lazy. Do you know that there are people who are lazy? I have seen men of integrity who go and do a degree. They finish that degree, they hang it on the wall. They go for another degree, they finish, they hang it on the wall. The wife is going to work shift after shift after shift. The husband is pursuing education, degree after degree after degree. It is okay, it is okay. Myself, what I told you, I have no degree. But I decided that I will only do short business courses. 2 weeks course, 1 month course. That will make me to make money. I don't go for a degree. I'm not discouraging anyone. But for me, where I am now, I don't pursue for a degree. It's good to go to school. But for me, in the business that I am, I go and do short courses. Short business courses that will make me, that will equip me to be able to provide a service and to make money and grow my business. That's what I do. So I said, there is nothing wrong about being lazy unless you begin to do nothing. If you can be lazy, anything, that's when we become worried about you. So lazy people, lazy men of integrity, please, let us try and look at ourselves and try and focus on achieving something. How many children do you have? How many dresses do you want your child to have? They only ask about yourself and your own salary. No matter you've got 10 children, they are not worried about is the salary for one person. So, people who employ you, they will always offer you something that you think is something, yet it's not anything. I am saying to someone here, begin yourself to establish your own business. You all of one guy who employ to fool me. Yes, my employee. There's nothing like that. I cannot employ you to be successful. I employ you to uplift my business. I send you for courses to equip you so that you can do my work better. What's it? There's no employer who employ you to make you prosperous. No one. Show me one person who said to you, I have been so successful and I was prosperous because of this company. So quickly, land. I'll talk about land. Now, a man of integrity should think about land. Okay? Anywhere in the world, land. Let me show you something. All the wars that you see being fought worldwide is about nothing more. They may talk of this and this, but if you look at it, it's all about land. It comes back to land. The only thing that has been on earth longer than anything and longer than anybody else is land. The only purchase you can make that will outlive you forever is land. Food comes from land. Accommodation comes from land. Water is sourced from land. Minerals, trees, anything that is manufactured, it comes from land. Cars grow old, clothes will wear off, companies will die, but land will live forever. Land may not make you a billionaire at once, but land will make you feel comfortable. This is why you find where I come from a country called Zimbabwe. If we talk about land, I tell you, everybody is angry about it. They want their land back. So each and every man of integrity has to at least get a piece of land that has got your title deeds. Land. A piece of land. Don't worry about the urban area. In the rural areas, if you go, I was in Zimbabwe, I think a few weeks ago, I came about 7 days ago. In Zimbabwe, you go in the rural areas where you were born, you talk to the headmen and the local people there. I want a piece of land. Do you know what they say? Bring me a goat. How much is a goat? $40. Give them a goat, they write you papers, you get land. That land in your name and you can do things with that land. So, I am encouraging a man of integrity to have a mindset of achieving things, leaving an inheritance for your children, an inheritance. And when you've got land, you know you cannot be moved. There are two types of land in Zimbabwe. Okay? The land that you can buy privately, and the land that you can get through parties, political parties. And those land that you get through political parties, they are very good, but they are not secure. You can lose it anytime. I've got one of my brothers there in Bindura. He had a big piece of land. He got it in 2000. He only uttered a statement politically, he lost that land. So I am encouraging you, do your due diligence and buy land from private sellers, title deeds, and you begin to do things. Many people are doing things amongst us. I know people are doing big things. So let us make sure that we do something for ourselves which will benefit our children. I think some of you got a prayer request whilst I was in Zimbabwe that Mamitara said to some of us. I was trying to get 2 signatures from the council. We were doing title deeds for some of the properties. And from the 1st of January, I couldn't get those signatures until the 9th of February. People could not be found in their offices. If you find them in their office, they say, I'm waiting until the files are 20, then I sign. They go out, they go to meetings. They were nowhere, and we needed 2 signatures. They couldn't come, those 2 signatures. And I want to thank you guys who prayed, and on the 9th, those guys signed those papers. Imagine. What type of functionality is that? You can't get a signature for a month plus. But these guys are paid to do that. You can't. At one time I went over lunchtime, I bought some chicken in and some pizzas, brought the pizzas to them. I tell you, they couldn't sign. They couldn't sign that. So in Zimbabwe, anything can happen. So I am saying to us that when you get a chance to go to your home country, make sure that you do a survey, check whether you can get land. And you remember 2013, Apostle Ezekiel Kuti was saying, my children, buy land. It's gonna be scarce. You won't be able to buy it. Buy land. Those who remember, I think, you remember, you used to say that. So we managed to buy 20 hectares of land, and we're working through the title deeds and everything. So, who has been given 2 hectares for free? So when we were doing the title deeds, the lawyer said, oh no, your piece of land I think is overlapping there, and it's more than 20 hectares, it's going to be 22 hectares. And then the owner of the land said, no, just to give him, it's okay. And we got extra 2 hectares, imagine. So now pray for us, because January 2026, we want to open doors to our boarding school in Bindura on that piece of land. Do we have money on that? No money. Is there any bricks, any plans? Nothing. But we are saying January 22, we want to open doors, and students will be coming to enroll at that school. So your prayers are needed on that. That's land. There is no inheritance that can outlive land. So we need land. Proverbs 18, verse 22, a good man. Does anyone know that one? A good man leaves an inheritance for his children's children. Imagine right now, do we have an inheritance for our own children? How old are you? Inheritance for my children. What about the children's children? Hey, it's hard. It's really hard. So we need to keep focused. So lastly, I think I said here, things that I want you and me to start doing now. Number 1, change. Change. What is it in your life and in my life that you can think now and say, this is one radical change I can do to myself? February 2025. What is it that you are going to do differently? The change that you are going to do different so that you can achieve your goal as a man. What is it that you can do? Number 2. So you need to write down one radical change that says, I am going to change. I am going to do this. I am going to be different. I am going to do this differently. What is it? As a man, you have to give up who you have been in order to give birth to who you want to be. Do you know sometimes we are comfortable in our comfort zone? in our day-to-day things, very comfortable, very comfortable. But there's a time when I need to say, I have to change. I have to change and become a different person. So change can only happen when you desire to change. Develop an appetite of always trying to find good ideas, business ideas, product ideas, service ideas, an idea for personal improvement. What can I do to be a better person? What course do I need to do? What is it that I need to do to be better? You need to always make sure that you develop yourself again and again and again, because as we grow, technology is coming, things are changing, young people are coming, they've got different ways of doing things. You can't just remain behind. You need to up the game as well as a man of integrity. Do not wish for less problems, but wish for better skills. We talked about that one. And there is no change that happens without change. To have more, you simply have to become more. To have more, I have to become more. How do I become more? By developing myself. By willing to learn from other people. By willing to appreciate what other people are doing. Because if you always look down upon what other people are doing, then it means you are not going to be better than that person. If you ever heard a statement that says, if you keep a man down, if you keep a man down, you will remain down with him. So in other words, if you feel you want to put other people down, you are not going to rise yourself because you are down with that person. If you keep a man down, you will remain down with that man. But if you try and lift someone up together, you progress and you move for better things. Then lastly, I said, if you want to be successful, find out what poor people do and don't do it. So, that's my presentation.
And big thank you to the previous speakers. We managed to talk a lot and to bring some insight on what we need to learn and what we need to know as men. I've been tasked to give the topic about budgeting and finances, in which what I'm going to talk about, yes, it's going to relate to that, but at the same time, because now we are most of us as men, I think now as we are based here in the UK, sometimes you also have to adjust to the system of where we are, so that we better plan our future. Because there's a difference between planning and you've got two minds, that you want to plan there and you also want to plan here. So there's those ways whereby I remember at a certain time I used to say to myself that I would never do anything back home because I'm now in the UK. So what's the point of me developing back home? But at the same time, I found myself developing back home to change my mindset because of the way things are going. I mean, the country has really changed. The environment of the UK has changed. Things have taken another flip overnight. We never expected it, but things have just changed just like that. But also at the same time, we really need to take advantage of the systems here in this nation. Right. So, when I'm talking about knowing and doing the systems of the nation, I believe all of us here are Christians. I'm going to pick one thing here from the Bible. Right, you look at Joseph, the father of Jesus. When he heard that Pharaoh wanted to kill all the boys from 2 years and downwards. As a man, he had to move his family outside of Jerusalem going to Egypt. So he was a man who was protecting his family. So as a mandate, we want to protect our families. How do we protect our families? It comes in different ways, because as a head of the house, definitely you've got the mandate of the finances in the house. But I'm just saying this as in because in the house it depends. Houses are different, couples are different. Between the two of you, you know who's better with money. Some are good spenders, and some are very conservative. We've got women. I'll give you a good example. With my wife, when we got married, she got paid. She'll go and buy a purse for 300, shoes for 600, and a little things, 3-4 things. Salary is gone. Nothing has been paid. No bills have been paid. Nothing. She just bought her items, and then she was fine with it. And I'm thinking, is this girl crazy? And she's also thinking that, is this guy crazy? Can't you see that I've used my money to buy the things that I want? But to give a good lesson to that, what did I do? I realized I have a problem here. I'm married and I'm stuck in it now. I can't change a woman, she's there now. Lobola has been paid, everything has been paid, and she's with me. I'm stuck with this one who wants to buy goodies. So, what did I do? I had to stop. I said, you know what? I'm going to be working. As I'm going to work, I'll give you all the cards and everything. I handed over all the financial responsibility to her because she was the money spender. So I gave all the responsibilities to her. I said, you know what? And everything was, I put everything in her name. Water bills, house bills, and everything. I gave everything to her. And then while she was doing now the budget, she had to make sure that she pays the rent, she pays the water, she pays this, she pays this, she pays this, she pays that. And she came to me and she said, money is not enough. And then I said, if money is not enough, you know where to get the money from. And that's when she started giving me the push, and that's when she started realizing that, no, I need to work more so that we create more money. And now between the two of us, she can manage the finances better. From spending, but now she can manage finances better than what I do. So I had to put her in a school. It wasn't easy, but I had to put her in a school for her to do that. So once you are in the house and managing finances, it's not because, as men here, I figured out with other people that I sit with, you realize in different houses, people give each other turns. That my man, Mr. Jasper here, he tells you, I'm the man and I pay the water bill and the car insurance. You pay rent and you pay, bills are divided. So you find out if you operate the home in that way, things become difficult to manage, especially in this country. It's better, guys, you put finances together and then you do everything from one pot. And there's also problems of, I need to send my money, my parents, their own figure. The husband hides money and they send to their own parents whatever amount, and the wife does the same. That is a big problem there. That is a big problem. I used to have the same problem, but how I had to solve it was I ended up going to my in-laws' parents to find out exactly what they needed. I would make sure that they have everything that they wanted. And I asked my wife to go to my house, my parents' house, and to see what needs to be done there, and she would do it. So we had to She looks after them, I look after them. Until we found out that, okay, now you can manage this. Now she just gives, without my knowledge, she can send my mom whatever she wants, and she can send to a house whatever because we've got a certain budget, but they're doing things separately. I don't think would become a good thing to do, especially here. The challenges that you face, because you might not face challenges there, but the challenges that you face as you move forward, it will be very difficult. So individualizing finances is not very good. So let's just, as men, see who is better in managing finances, and then that person can help. So, at the same time, as a man, we must be able, as the family head, as the head of the family, to realize at what time do I have to achieve A, B, C, D. These things have got times. I'm talking of this nation. I'm really mostly talking of how, if you want to achieve something in this nation, we've got things where if someone wants to get a mortgage, there's a certain time that, if you miss a mortgage at a certain age, don't even bother. For those who know the system, if you want to start to get a mortgage when you're 50, it's going to kill you. Because they'll calculate from the time, from the age that you're 50, until the retirement age of 65, and you've got 15 years to pay off that mortgage. So it depends with age. So if you want to do it at a younger age, so that at least what you're paying for your mortgage is not a lot of money. And another advice is, when you have a mortgage already, and you want to get a second mortgage, do not buy it in your name. Yeah? Do not buy it in your name. If you want to get a second mortgage, open a limited company and put it in a company. That way you're secure. We'll talk about that when we have another chance to talk, because that's more of it requires more. There's more information about that. Our elder Mtara was talking of inheritance. That we need to leave an inheritance to our children, because the most important thing right now is our children. How do we plan it as a family? That my age from 20 to 30, what do I need to achieve? From 30 to 40, what do I need to achieve? Goals. From 40 to 50, what do I need to achieve? From 50 to 60, what do I need to achieve? From 60 to 70. We can't be sitting around here and you're 60 and you're still thinking of being big in doing business. It's good, but age is gone. Because at that time when you're 60s, 70s, your children are now the ones running the show. So that's the time now, because there's a certain age where you need to pass on the knowledge now to the younger generation. So I'm not saying it's not possible, but it's very difficult for you when you're around 60s, 70s to start planning of doing a big business. I don't know if you get where I'm coming from and what I'm trying to say. So, in planning for the inheritance, how many here in this room have got a funeral plan? That's for insurance. Okay, you can see the hands. How many have life insurance? Right. So, it's a good number with people who've got life insurance, because I always compare the two. Funeral policy and life insurance. And you figure out a lot of Zimbabweans are scared of death. Hence, Nyaradzo makes a lot of money compared to most of the companies in Zambia, because that guy just came from nowhere and realized that no, these guys are scared of death. Even if you want to make money right now in Zimbabwe, if you go to that insurance like Nanya do, you make a lot of money because everyone is scared to die. But no one is thinking of the future of their children. So as you are here in the UK, the system allows you to tap into these life insurances. In Zimbabwe, yes, you can claim and say they've sold me a dummy, but here they'll never sell you a dummy. If you have a life insurance, it depends on what stage and how much you've insured yourself for. Right. There are different life insurances. You can insure those with mortgages. You can insure, okay, I'll give you my good example. I think it's easier that way. I've got a life insurance against my company. Right? If anything is to happen to me right now, if I'm no longer there, I know there's a huge figure that's in the company because I'm no longer there, so that the company continue to go. I've got a life insurance that covers my wife. She's got a good chunk that if I'm not around right now, she has a good inheritance. I've got another insurance that covers my children. That peradventure anything happens to me when my children turn 18, each one of them, at least, they have not less than 200,000 for each of my children. If anything is to happen to me now, as soon as they reach 18. And then I've got another insurance to insure for my mortgage, that if anything is to happen to me, the house is fully paid. Right? But when you do that, it goes deeper. When you have your insurances and when you have your life insurances, make sure that your life insurance is also locked in a trust. All these insurances that you have, you might have all 6 or 7 life insurances, but you need to lock them in a trust. Why am I saying that? When you don't lock them in a trust, the laws of this nation, let's say I'm to go, I've insured my wife for 500,000, or all my insurances, the amount that comes from all my insurances are coming up to 1 million or to 1.5 million or to 2 million. When I go, if I don't secure these and if I don't lock these inheritance or these insurances in in a trust, or if I don't put, like what I've said before, that if you don't put your house, if you've got 2 houses or 3 houses here, all on mortgages, and if you don't put your house, if you put your house, if all your houses are in your names, what happens the day you go? The government has got 40% of all these figures. If you don't lock these things in some trust. So you might realize if it's 1.5 million as an inheritance, before you do anything, the government already is going to stake off 300,000 for doing nothing. So that can easily be protected when things are secured in a trust. So make sure you all have life insurances, because the life insurances in this country, they do work. At the same time, for those who are developing back home in Zimbabwe, it's also advisable that when you're buying properties, when you're buying things there, the best way when you're buying properties, I made a mistake. I bought a property in Zim, and then I had to put it in my name. Now I'm trying to put it in a trust. It's very expensive. But everything that is coming along the way,
Please jump into your car.
because I've opened that trust, I now have that trust in Zimbabwe. Anything else, if it's a small land, if it's this, a little car, this and that, I'm just putting all of them in a trust. Why am I doing that? I'm protecting everything to my children. Why? Because the day I go, you don't want the babaminis, you don't want the uncles, you don't want the aunties who come and claim everything, that, you know, our child worked here. But at the same time, it was your wife and yourself who were working hard to be where you are. So you want to protect your children. And they say you want to leave an inheritance for your children's children, for whatever generation. This is what they need. Because in this country, you might not have a lot of things, as in you might not have a house that you fully own, you might not have things that you fully own, because it's a country where you've got to survive by credit. It's how credit worth are you? That's the nature of this country. How credit worth are you? If you want to be rich in this nation, it's just how credit worth are you? That's how they calculate how rich you are in here. Because no one got things and loads of things, bought those things for cash. It's only back home when you are doing things in cash. But here it's they want to write the 11, they want to write the 12, you are the best person. If you're not written anywhere, then they don't trust you. They don't trust you. So going down. You know, it is what it is, and those are facts. But back home, you've got to be credit free, and it's easier when things are operated that way. So make sure you lock your stuff in the trust. I used to work with this guy as a carer, and then he'll tell you that I've got 70,000 in my account.
In the hospital, cleaners, and they are millionaires.
Yes.
They come to work every day,
Mm-hmm.
but they are millionaires.
Mm-hmm.
Two twins,
Yeah.
but they are millionaires. I was so surprised.
Mm-hmm.
How come they are so duty conscious,
Yeah.
but they are millionaires, cleaners?
So you find that you're coming to work with people who are coming just to wind up time. You wonder, these school secretaries, and they're happy with working 15 hours, 20 hours, or 3 hours a week. They're happy with that. And you start to think, where do they get the money from? Inheritances. So we must get to that stage where, as much as we can't do it, we're working hard for that. But our children have to get to that stage where they're coming to work, the fathers work for them, and now they are enjoying the inheritances.